Outstanding. Good to see
I'm
you.
good. Glad to hear it. The Department of Homeland Security agents entered a residential building owned by Columbia University yesterday morning. They detained that student. And as you heard, Columbia is claiming agents used false pretenses to gain entrance. Your thoughts on this dispute involving warrants on private property?
Well, as I remember correctly, that lady had her visa had expired in 2016 under the Obama administration. She was over here illegally. That makes her a lawbreaker, and laws need to be followed. The issue of the day is that whatever means we need to use to get her back to her legal status back in her country, we need to do that. So I don't know what the issue is, but I know that I trust the ICE agents and the Customs and Border Patrol agents who keep us safe. And by the way, New York is a sanctuary city, and there's a lot of people like that may not necessarily be as nice as this woman is. So I say, whatever is necessary to send her back home, let's get her done.
Yeah, and Columbia University could be considered hostile ground based on recent history. But after the deaths of those two anti-ICE activists in Minneapolis, Renee Good and Alex Petrie, there are those who might argue ICE agents need to be extra careful, knowing all eyes are on them. Would you agree with that?
I would agree also, but there's also the media that want to turn this into some kind of unnecessary brouhaha. Not necessary at all. The issue of the day is there are millions of Americans who live in New York, and they deserve to be kept safe. And this woman could be a terrorist for all we know. We have to make sure that our country is kept safe from people who are illegally here. And that's the bottom line. I don't think that the ICE agents, the Customs and Border Patrol agents are doing anything wrong. And if New York's police department was cooperating with them properly, I think things would be a lot easier for everyone.
That's a very good point, Bernie. There's another story that's come up, the death of a nearly blind refugee, Shah Alam, in Buffalo, New York. Border Patrol agents apparently dropped him off at a coffee shop near his last known address after he was released from the Erie County Jail, and his body was found 5 days later, about 4 miles from that coffee shop. Neither his family nor their attorney say that they were notified by federal authorities after he was dropped off. So what can we learn from this to prevent similar situations in the future?
Well, from what I understand, that gentleman was over here legally. He was a refugee, and that takes ICE and Customs and Border Patrol out of the equation. So they dropped him off. Now, remember, Buffalo is a sanctuary city. If they had cooperated with ICE and Customs and Border Patrol, perhaps they could have dropped him off at the local jail so his family could have picked him up. There's a lot of scenarios that could have happened, but the issue of the day is we're not in the business of providing hotels and things like that for folks. They dropped the man off. Yeah, it's unfortunate the way it went down, but they dropped him off in a safe place, and notice his family did not come pick him up. And he, as an adult,
Yeah.
there was also a translator, a mechanical translator, but he knew what he was doing, and it's unfortunate. But when you got an operation this big, when you're trying to get millions of people out of the United States, things are going to happen. I say, let's rely on local law enforcement. Stop this sanctuary city thing and let them cooperate with the federal government. We'll have a lot less loss of life.
For sure, that would definitely make things easier on all sides. Meanwhile, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced 30 more people have been charged in that anti-ICE protest at a Minnesota church. That's the one where former CNN anchor Don Lemon was indicted by a grand jury for his role in the protest inside that church. Your thoughts on the DOJ going after everyone involved in the disruption at that house of worship?
One of the core pillars of the United States is the ability to worship freely in the religion of your choice. Those people, Don Lemon specifically, tried to use his status as a supposed journalist to basically deprive these people of the right to worship. He should be ashamed of himself. So I'm happy to see those people prosecuted. I'm happy to see them going to jail. I'm happy to see examples being set. So 3 cheers for Pam Bondi, 3 cheers for DOJ. Let's get her done.
Bernie Flowers, we appreciate your insights, sir. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Always a pleasure.
After the break, we'll take a look at how the lunatics on the left